In this lesson, let's learn about the trigonomic formula for sin 2α. 三角関数 sin2αの公式. First, let's discuss the double angle formula. The addition theorem for sines is sin alpha plus theta in parentheses equals sin alpha cosine theta plus cosine alpha sine theta. Replacing theta in the equation with alpha, we get sin alpha plus alpha in parentheses equals sin alpha cosine alpha plus cosine alpha sine alpha. Sin 2α equals 2 times sin alpha cosine alpha. This is the double angle formula for sine. Next, let's use this formula and solve a practice problem. Let's solve for sin 2α when pi over 2 is less than alpha and alpha is less than pi. Also, when cosine alpha equals negative 4 over 5. First, let's solve for the value of sin alpha. To do this, we'll use the reciprocal relation formula for sin alpha and cosine alpha. Now let's solve for the value of sin alpha. Pi over 2 is less than alpha, and alpha is less than pi. Also, sin alpha is greater than 0. From that information, we know that sin alpha equals square root of 1 minus negative 4 over 5 in parentheses squared equals 3 over 5. Next, let's substitute the values we know into the formula. Right now we know that sin alpha equals 3 over 5 and cosine alpha equals negative 4 over 5. Let's apply these to the formula for double angle. When we do this, we get sin 2 times alpha equals 2 sin alpha cosine alpha, which equals 2 times 3 over 5 times negative 4 over 5 in parentheses. This equals negative 24 over 25. Now let's do some practice. Press the pause button and try to solve the practice problem. Once you're finished, press the resume button and mark what you got correct. Now let's check our answers. 0 is less than alpha and alpha is less than pi, so sin alpha is greater than 0. From sin square alpha plus cosine square alpha equals 1, we know that sin alpha equals square root of 1 minus 5 over 13 in parentheses squared, which also equals square root of 144 over 169, which also can be reduced down to 12 over 13. Therefore, sin 2 alpha equals 2 sin alpha cosine alpha, which equals 2 times 12 over 13 times 5 over 13, which equals 120 over 169. Finally, let's review what we have learned. The double angle formula for sine is sin 2 alpha equals 2 sin alpha cosine alpha. That concludes this lesson.